What about you need? Han Solo. Empire Strikes Back. Everyone, you knew what that was when I said it, right? I hope so. We got some games to play. Welcome, everybody. It is TRB. It's Thursday. It's our discussion show. Last day of March, which means tomorrow there's going to be a lot of April Fool's jokes about Star Wars on Twitter.
I hate April
fall for them.
Fool's Day.
Don't fall for them.
I hate it so much.
I'm looking at the Rian Johnson fans out there because some fool is going to say something about his movies and then people are going to get really upset about it. So just be careful out there on April Fool's Day. But today's not April Fool's Day. Today is a TRB episode day, March 31st. And Lacey and James are with me as always. I'm John. Thanks for joining us today. Real quick at the top, just want to say thanks to everybody who has recently joined us. We had a bunch of new followers on Twitter as we're pushing towards 10,000 followers, so thank you for that. With that, you just want to make sure everyone is subscribed to our show on your preferred platforms, whatever the audio platform of your choice is, and of course, youtube.com/Star Wars Newsnet videos. We're doing some new things on there. We've been doing some new 1-minute clip videos and that sort of stuff to see what your interest is. And at any time, if you have any feedback or you like what we're doing, you can hit us up on Twitter, or you can email us, resistancebroadcast@gmail.com. But more importantly, we just hope you like what we've been doing, and we're really excited for what the future holds. This is a big year for Star Wars for us, and we're gearing up for Star Wars Celebration. And just a reminder to everyone out there, we are going to be talking a lot more about Celebration as it gets closer. But also, if you're not going to Celebration, stick with us while we're there, because we're going to make sure we bring you into the experience with us. Right, Lacey?
Correct. Oh, are you saying hi? Hey, guys. How's it going?
Lacey always like stone cold the handoff. It's like it's
No.
that when someone gives you the dead fish handshake. That's what this is.
I was going to say it's more like we're in a relay race and you hand me the baton and I just slapped it out of your hand and hit the ground.
Well, in a relay race, you're supposed to start running.
That's not my
as
dad.
I'm still running
That's a
to
cell
you.
phone. The SNL skit, the throw it on the ground.
Oh,
thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Birthday cake one. It's a birthday cake, and I
threw it on the ground.
Happy birthday to the ground, all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah. One of the things is
Right.
like, that's not my dad. That's a cell phone.
Right. Lonely Island.
Yeah.
That's where I am right now when I try to talk to Lacey at the beginning of our episode.
I didn't know that was like. Wait, what were you asking me?
It's like when you have those contestants on Jeopardy and Alex Trebek would give that big opening and they'd be like, so why don't you tell us more about what you do, Ted? And he's like, I work.
Steel worker.
Yeah. Because usually it's Monday I go to James to open and Thursday I go to Lacey. So Lacey knows this is a Thursday episode.
I always
ready
forget.
for the whatever. And it's I put a celebration on a frickin' tee. And not
How
a regular
long?
tee. Like the extra long tees that you see the old people use at the golf range, and she's still nothing.
How long have we been doing this? Guys, by the way, I have now officially been on the podcast for 4 years. Last week
And it
was
shows.
my
That's
anniversary. Aren't you
Jeez.
guys so glad that I'm here? Write in the comments. Wait, what were we talking about? Celebration? I'm super pumped for Celebration. I can't wait, but I hate April's Fool. You know what it was? April Fool's Day. I hate it so much that my brain was just focused on how much I don't
Sure.
like that day. These guys have asked for years, like, guys, let's do a funny joke.
Yeah, let's plan
do
something.
And I've
Let's do-
always literally been like, no, I refuse.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like, look
tricked
at all
you.
these idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's people see the story and they're like, "Oh, that's funny." Like an Onion article where you can like look at it and immediately be like, that's not true. Oh, it's Onion. I got you. Oh, it's April 1st.
I just don't think it's
Or
funny.
like
I think
next
it's so
year,
stupid.
like because if the episode felt like, well, so Lacey doesn't understand this. So next year, April Fool's Day will be on a Saturday.
Oh,
because it's so we can't do it then. But I was thinking, like, next time maybe April Fool's falls on an episode in a couple of years. We
Not
have our
until
when the
3
show
years
opens.
from now.
When the show opens, we'll have our kids in the chairs as us. That'd be funny.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cute.
Last year was Monday,
that's
right?
cute.
Why do you think everything has to be a got you though? It doesn't have to be like
I just hate April Fool's Day because usually
2 years ago.
people
Thursday.
don't make it fun. They make it awkward. Like people being
I
like,
know.
"Oh, April Fool's,
That's why
I'm
I said
having a
be
kid,"
careful.
and it's like
Be
some
careful
people
out there.
can't have kids, and some people,
Yeah.
it's a very sensitive subject and stuff like that. Like that's why I find people make jokes about, which I don't find funny.
Lacey, if
Yeah.
you're going to make the world a better place, then take a look in the mirror and make the change.
Shut up, Jay.
I watched like a Batman recently, and it's pretty much the main point of the movie.
I thought you were quoting "Man in the Mirror" from Michael Jackson.
That's what I thought you were quoting.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's Will Forte, who plays Batman. I'm watching John's face right now.
wait, it's not Will Forte.
It's not. It's Will Arnett. I did that on purpose.
Imagine if we went back, John's face is literally like what we were talking about, like when the computer cancels out. It's like,
Yeah. I said it's Will Forte, who plays Batman, and I sat there and just watched his face melt.
You watched it happen.
Yeah. I did it totally on purpose. But anyway.
Rules.
Yeah. Well, the bottom line is this: we are. So today's the 31st. I'm gonna do the math here real quick. 30. It's 55 days until Celebration and Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited for Celebration.
Execute Order 55.
Okay.
You know the like there's like Twitter accounts like the countdown till this or where's this trailer. What do those accounts do after those things come and go? They just disappear?
They just do the joke tweet of, "Oh, it's out," and then
but
the
then
account
what?
ends.
Do they change their account name to something else and they move on to something else, or do they just die?
I think
they just
the
die.
accounts just end.
All right. Well, listen. We have a great show today because Who Are You is back. It's our Star Wars movie quote guessing game, and we're starting to dabble in the other live action stuff as well. So we'll see how that goes. But today it's going to be me versus James. So Lacey hopefully has real Star Wars quotes. And
we're introducing the shows into this one. We'll get to that.
That's what
in
he
a
said.
little
I
bit.
just said that. Yep.
4
Part of
years.
the podcasting is listening.
4 years.
4
Lacey's having a
years
great
of
show.
this.
Is my mic on? James, can you hear me at least?
Shut up.
John, you're muted.
Oh, that's what I figured. But yeah, me versus James, so it should be fun. We'll get to that later, but we got to warm the engines first a little bit here. So I'm going to hand it off to James for first segment of the episode.
We need to more than warm them. We need to fix my.
Exactly.
I fear nothing, for all this, as the Force wills it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening to the show. We do have one quick favor to ask, though. If you haven't, please please head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/resistancebroadcast, because if you're able to, it would help a lot if you would consider supporting the podcast over there, because everything we do is just the three of us, so your support allows us to put in the time to keep doing the show and keep growing and adding to what we're doing. In fact, like, we're even headed into Celebration right now, and there are even perks and levels and benefits that you can get that revolve around Celebration, depending on your tier. And that includes like merchandise and special videos and other stuff like that. So it's really cool. Just head over to patreon.com/resistancebroadcast. Tier start at just $2 and immediately grant you access to all of those things that I was talking about. There are lots of stuff over there, so just check it out. And to everybody who's supporting us in the past or now or in the future, thank you from the support from the three of us.
Thanks.
Thank you. We have a couple Patreon questions this week, one of which is from Commander Kevin Lewis. Kevin asked us, will Lucasfilm ever delve into live action Old Republic? Lacey, I'm starting with you on this one. Thoughts on Old Republic being a live action series or show or movie or something like that at some point?
I definitely think that they're going to do something in Old Republic. I think it's been discussed enough. I think there's a lot of fans behind it. It's a whole part that hasn't been explored yet in live action within the timeline of Star Wars. I just think it's it's ripe for the picking, as they say. I think it's, from what we understand from what the Game of Thrones guys were going to do, was probably a show in this time period. So I guarantee that show is still up for grabs or on the, brainstorming board at Lucasfilm. So I'm going to say yes.
All right, John, thoughts on Old Republic in live action?
I think so. I think I don't think it's a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when. I think it's something they're already developing, because it's a very safe distance enough from anything else. Where, considering the canon, so to speak, canon clean slate thing, they can really open that thing up and do a lot of things that they want to do without a ton of restrictions, based on aside from anything retrospectively referential from Yoda and the Clone Wars and some stuff they may be talking about in the High Republic. I'm not sure, but I think it's something that is pretty vast for them to explore, and I think that's certainly something that they were probably going to do with Benioff and Weiss before they left for Netflix. So they're just going to find the right people to sort of get in line with that and create it. And I think movies would be really cool. I know a lot of people are really enamored and in love with the Disney Plus series stuff, but I still think I'm starting to even see people long for the big theatrical Star Wars film. At least that's some of the reactions I've seen from people after watching the Book of Boba Fett. They're like, yeah, it was really cool. It felt like Star Wars and the volume, blah, 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 all that stuff. But I think some people are, going back to the grass being greener on that other hill again, like, oh, Star Wars movies in the theater, like just like yearning for that again. And we're only a couple years removed from it. So I think Old Republic, like movies, I think would be really awesome. So either way, I think they're going to do it though.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my point. You kind of got there before me, but it was going to be, I think they will do it. But my thought on it is, how do they handle it? This is big enough that they could choose whatever they want. They could go for the 3-movie trilogy and make that their big new thing. But then again, they could be like Disney Plus, like we could lock in subscribers. We could make this the new show, like Mandalorian was, but we didn't even expect it to be. We're going to put everything into this show, and make it like a big thing. It has the precedent to do that. I'm going to throw it out to anybody listening, for the comments or anything like that. Or if you guys want to chime in, I guess you can. But do we think this show is being held up because it's the one Legends thing that's still kind of in active development? We're still seeing Legends, Old Republic stories being told. And so it kind of makes me wonder if they're like, let that ride for as long as it can, and then we'll start doing new Old Republic stories. But I don't know. That's just like a quick thought. If you want to chime in, put it in the comments or something. Let's move on to the next one here. Will Lucasfilm mention Rian Johnson's trilogy in any way, shape, form during the Star Wars celebration that's up and coming, or will the project continue to remain silent? John, you're first on this one. Anything coming from Lucasfilm on Rian Johnson's trilogy?
I would like to, one way or the other, hear something, but I know Celebration is about celebrating, and so they're not going to go out there and say, in an interview, like, yeah, we had some great ideas, but Rian has decided to, go in another direction or something like that. So the only thing we would hear about it would be, yes, it's on and blah, blah, blah. And I just don't think it's happening. We're coming up on 5 years from the announcement, and there hasn't really been any talk of it in a few years. So I don't think we're going to hear anything about Rian Johnson at Celebration. And I wouldn't be shocked if like bigger media sources who are going to get interviews with bigwigs, it might be on one of those sheets like, do not ask about blank. And I bet Rian Johnson's on there because they haven't decided what they want to do with that yet. Is it going to be that weird thing that's going to go on forever and they're never going to talk about it and it's just never going to happen? Or one day they finally going to be like, we just got to rip the Band-Aid off and say like, this is
I think Rian would rip it off first.
Right.
Yeah, either way, I at Celebration, I just don't think we're going to hear about this project.
Yeah, that seems to line up kind of with what I was thinking. If it's not happening, they won't mention it. But if it is happening, then they'll that this should be the place you say it. So if it's happening, you got to say something
If
about
it's happening,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, if it's happening, you have to say something about it. Even just to reassure fans that, that it's going to happen. That's why I'm going to jump in really quick. I'm going to say that we will not hear something about it, though. I think this would be their opportunity to do it. And I get this weird vibe that I've stood for a long time that you got to put faith in what they've said. They said it's happening. And so until there's a reason to believe it's not happening, I don't think time is a good enough reason. And the longer time goes, I start to go, time is starting to seem like a good reason. Like I didn't believe it 2 years after or 3 years after, maybe a little bit into 4 years after. Now we're coming up on 5 years after. Time is starting to look like something happened with this. So I hope they say something, but I don't think they will. Lacey?
Yeah, I think the Kenobi series was in development for 6 years, they said. So people are using that as an example of, hey, it could still be in development, but I feel like that's different because that was never announced. It was just kind of secretive. It leaked that it was being worked on, but I don't think it was ever like, hey, this is happening and here's who's doing it. Until they were definitely sure they were doing it. Whereas I feel with Rian Johnson, it was announced right before The Last Jedi, and then The Last Jedi happened, and then everything went the way it went with that. That, I don't know, it's just really weird how every time we hear about this project, it's either, yeah, it's happening, or, oh, I haven't really talked about it much. I'm working on other things. And now, like James said, it's just been so long that you want to, I want this to be happening. I want to hear more about it. And it feels like they're not telling us on purpose. And there has to be a reason. And I feel like that's why they won't say anything at Celebration, because they don't want that to be the shadow over everything that's happening. Because it will be, because he's such a hot topic within the fandom.
And even he's not talking about it anymore. Like every once in a while he would respond to something and be like,
got that Netflix money now.
He's like, not true. But now
Is
he
he
just
with
doesn't
Netflix?
even.
Yeah, Knives Out's coming out on Netflix.
Wait, it's not a theatrical release anymore?
It might be, but it's through Netflix.
Weird. I didn't know that. John, were you done? Should we move on? Okay, cool. We got one other, not one other question. We have another one, just another one, because there's one after it. We got another Patreon submission. This one is coming from another commander of ours, which is pretty cool. Soonerthron wanted to know, will we see the Inquisitors in the Andor series as well? So we're getting them in Kenobi, but are we going to get them in Andor? Lacey, I'm starting with you on this one.
I want you to start, James.
Me starting? I think that we are not going to get the Inquisitors in Andor. Because I think it will be, I think in a lot of ways, when we see the Inquisitors in Kenobi, it will be cool, and it's an introduction to a lot of what that lore is in there, but I don't think they're going to carry those characters over to other shows, because I think they want that to stand as like, this is the live action Inquisitors. They may show up here, there, and other things, but I think, especially right now, Andor, to me, is about the human fight, the war, not the Force. I feel like the Force is out of it. So I'm expecting that to be like the first show with no lightsabers. I'm expecting it to be boots on the ground, very heavily in the lore of people fighting for their rights and liberty and all this other stuff.
To
and like
party.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. For Jeddah. You know what I mean?
LOSD.
That's exactly right. So I very much think that it's going to be like a spy thriller, and the Inquisitors and Force users just like overpower everything in that story, and that's not what it's about. So I'm saying no, they're not going to show up in Andor. But Lacey, what are your thoughts?
I agree with you. I don't think they're going to show up in Andor. I think, like you said, James, perfectly, the Andor series is kind of focused on that rebellion side, the not Force side, the fighting the good fight, like people behind the rebellion, more than the Force side with Inquisitors. We might see Darth Vader here and there or hear of him, but I think it's more about how far the rebellion is willing to go to do the right thing or to get what they need to win the war.
Yep.
Because they don't have the support of the Jedi.
But they do have the support of Bulio.
They do.
Win the war. All right.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Cool. John, thoughts on the Inquisitors? You're giving a lot of faces. Are you thinking they are showing up in Andor?
No. They're not going to be in Andor. No. I think of it as, because I don't expect there to be any Jedi in Andor. Save for maybe another Vader cameo, but he's not a Jedi, but you know what I mean. So there's really no need for them to be there. And it makes me think of, because I live in like a snowy area in New England, when you see like the plow trucks driving around when there's no snow, and they're like just looking for something, like, where's that snow? I need that snow. That'd be, if the Inquisitors were in Andor, they'd be like, where's the Jedi? I have no purpose. Where are they? So I think it would be weird to see them in that show. So I think it's okay for them to appear here, not be there, and then come back later. We've seen that plenty of times in Star Wars, especially of late, with things puddle jump over the original trilogy because the characters quite literally did not exist when those movies came out. So I think it makes a lot more sense for them not to be in Andor.
Mm-hmm. Like, I was actually thinking just like a quick example, like if you watched WandaVision, you might be like, oh, cool, like magic and powers and, abilities beyond whatever, and then like immediately after, like, do you think that stuff's going to show up in Falcon and Winter Soldier? It's like, no, it's a different show. That's about like military type stuff and espionage and all that stuff. And it doesn't actually have like a lot of the magic, even though it is in the same world. We got one more question here. Will Obi-Wan suffer some form of amnesia in the Kenobi series? John, what are your thoughts on this one? You wrote this question. What are you thinking?
So, I think it's very possible. I think just having watched the trailer, and it looks like they are going down some sort of path of the effects that everything had on Obi-Wan's mental state and stuff as he's battling that with the virtue of being a Jedi. I think it would be a good out for them. This isn't going to be a popular answer, but I think it'll be a good out for them for the sake of continuity, for something to happen in his battle with Vader or something that really, because PTSD is a real thing, and he went through a traumatic experience, and they say like sometimes memory loss is a part of that, and you lose certain aspects of things to protect yourself from the trauma. It's possible that, another engagement with Anakin and seeing Anakin as Vader will have an effect on him where there will be things he forgets about his past, like R2-D2 and stuff like that, so that when we do, like, I think they'll do the best they can to use the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, not its sole purpose, but a part of it, use it to help smooth out the rough edges between things that don't make sense with Obi-Wan in the prequels and the original trilogy, so that he may have a situation where I don't ever remember owning a droid, and it'll make sense because he goes through something pretty heavy in this series. It might not happen. I think it would be a decent idea, because otherwise, it is a bit ridiculous because he spends a lot of time with R2-D2 in the prequels specifically, and he calls him by his name, and the fact that same droid goes to see him, he's going to be like, not only do I not remember owning a droid, I don't remember this specific one, and it gets, and he was around 3PO too. It just gets, it's a little messy, and I think they have an opportunity here to smooth that out. So I'm going to say, for that, just as a hopeful, they probably won't, I'll just say yes.
Lacey, thoughts on amnesia of Obi-Wan Kenobi in some form?
I'm going to say they will not have Obi-Wan suffer some form of amnesia. I think that they're going to just own it up to old age. Like, that's why he doesn't remember certain things. Like, there are things I don't remember. There are jokes people tell me online that I said 3 years ago on this show that I don't remember. So I feel like you touched on a little bit, John, about how he's been through all these traumatic scenarios and been through all this tough stuff. I think that just over time it could just be like, I've forgotten some stuff, or like we've seen in certain point of view books, he admits that he lies a little bit to kind of go get around those explanations. So I don't think he will suffer amnesia.
Yeah, that point of view book specifically tried to solve that problem by saying when he was on the Falcon with R2 later in the movie,
Right.
you know, when they're headed to Alderaan, he's like, "Of course I remember you. Like, don't think that I did that, you know, to hurt your feelings or something along those lines." So it's like, I mean, technically there is an in-canon explanation, although it doesn't really explain why he did it in the first place.
Right.
I like, if John's theory is right that he has like episodes where maybe he can't particularly remember things, like that could still fall in line, and later he'd be like, "Oh, R2, of course, yeah, of course I remember you," kind of thing. They could pull that off, but I don't know, something about this doesn't sit right with me though, and I'm gonna say no, because I think for some reason if there was this impression that Obi-Wan doesn't remember certain aspects of his history, I think it paints the New Hope Alec Guinness Obi-Wan as lesser than somehow. Like he wasn't really sure, like almost like he's saying for over 1,000 generations, and it's like, no, like you don't know what you're talking about, kind of thing. There's another line in there too where and some of this stuff is in John's point of view, like, yeah, I mean that kind of helps prove it too, that 1,000 generations, that doesn't make sense, that doesn't line up.
Right.
There's another one in there where Uncle Owen says he's just a crazy old man, or you know what I mean, and it's like at some point somebody probably could have pointed out that his stories don't line up or something along those lines, and be like, I don't think we can trust him anymore. He's kind of losing his mind. I know it seems like I'm painting for the other side here, that he could lose it, but I think all of that stuff, as soon as you give him like an actual like disease or something that's happening to him, I think it paints A New Hope Obi-Wan like he didn't have it all together, or he actually was a little bit out of his mind. And so I don't think they want to mess with that.
Makes sense.
But that is it for Will of the Force. So we appreciate any patrons who sent in questions. Continue to send them in. We'll probably get to them at some point. And I don't know if you've noticed or not, but we've been doing some YouTube shorts where we are taking some of these questions just in their own videos. So keep an eye out for that if you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. If you're not, you best get clicking. Get over there, hit the subscribe button, and be notified whenever we do extra little bonus Will of the Force questions, or questions like Ask the Resistance or something along those lines. John, if you would like, introduce us to the next segment.
Yes, so it is time to play our game, Who Are You? Our Star Wars movie quote guessing game.
Who are you?
All right, so Who Are You is basically our game where we guess what character said a Star Wars quote. So this week, quotes were gathered by Lacey, who is going to host the segment, as James and I will be facing off. Lacey will give us both the same 9 quotes from Star Wars movies, and we're also going to attempt to sprinkle in some of the live-action shows as well. And we will have to guess what character said the quotes. We'll have to each write down our guesses and show it and say it at the same time on Lacey's count to 3. Each question is worth 2 points. Each person gets a hint to use, and the hint will always be the movie or show that the quote is from, and Lacey will text that to that person and just that person. So if that person guesses it right after getting their hint, they'll now gain 1 point, and if the other person still gets it right, since they didn't get the hint, they still get the 2 points, because it was only the one person who got the hint.
Quick question. I always seem to have a problem with this. Should we just make it? Should we just make it 2 points? Because I always feel like we get in this weird thing where we're like, it's not worth giving up the 1 point, and it doesn't really play that much into the game. It's like, if you get it right, you get 1 hint in the game, and that hint could give you the full value. It means you're going to get that question right, no lesser than
there's the risk
point
of
system.
Maybe I shouldn't use my hint ever. So then there's like, yeah, I'm going to use my hint, so you get a little penalty.
I feel like you should use a hint once at some point.
You might need to.
All right. We can do it with the 1 point.
I feel like these are the types of discussions that should happen when we're not recording the episode.
I always forget. It's always one of these things where I'm like, oh, I would like to restructure the thing in that game, but we always decide to do it like the day of. So it's like tricky.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll play it the way we've always played it.
How about we do it where if you get it right, you get 37 points, and if I get it right, I get 2 points.
Oh my gosh. Let's get into this. Are you guys ready?
Right. Yeah.
All right, guys. So this time around, I found the quotes, and we'll find out if they're legit or not, because I have quite the track record that they either aren't legit or they aren't live action. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to give the quotes. Yeah. Which potentially now I could give.
Oh, that's true.
But I don't know. Didn't think of that. Anyway, so we're doing 9 quotes.
Are you keeping score?
I will keep the score, yes. So we're going to kick it off with the first quote, which is, "What? She didn't come back?" The quote is, "What? She didn't come back?" Who said it is the game. So that is a quote from a popular Star Wars movie. We don't know what movie it is. I just remember someone.
Attack of the Clones.
I just remember someone in the comment wrote, "When Lacey hosts, it's like she's at like a first grade birthday party and everybody needs to pay attention to her." And I'm like, exactly. Anyway, just joking. But guys, how you doing? You want to talk
John,
through what you thinking?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready too.
Yeah. Wow, you guys are on it. Ready? So the way this works is I'm going to count to 3, and then they're going to say and reveal their answer that was written down. Okay, ready? And 1, 2, 3.
Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker is correct. It's from Return of the Jedi. He comes back from falling off the speeder with Leia, and he sees Han, and Han goes, "Where's Leia?" And he goes, "What? She didn't come back?"
John, did you do a little back and forth on whether it was Luke or Han?
Yes, but then when I remember Luke's line, "We got separated," I'm like, he would be the one asking that.
Yeah, the logic is like Han wouldn't be like, "She didn't come back." It's like, you haven't been with her. Like, yeah.
Right.
You guys are too clever, because I was like, well, they're going to get stuck between Luke and Han. All right. All right, the next quote is, "Enough food, go help with the patrol." Enough food, go help with the patrol.
Also, are you going to tell us if it's from a TV series or do we just... Nope, okay.
Everything's a movie in this game.
Yeah.
What? Oh, you only did movies?
No.
No, she did the TV series too.
What? Say it again. These, like,
enough food,
lines.
Go help with the patrol.
Like this could be in like.
So we are on question 2, quote
enough
2
food.
Of Who Are You?
Go help.
The current
patrol.
score is 2-2 between James and John. This is a close game right off the bat. And we're trying to figure out who said, "Enough food, go help with the patrol."
I'm going to take my hint.
Could it be? John's going to take the hint? All right, so now I'm going to text John where the quote is from. So I am texting John for our audio listeners.
Yeah, so the property would be like what movie it's from, or The Mandalorian, or Book of Boba Fett would be the options.
Be any of the live action.
Yeah. Which also, I'm not sure if you're saying like Mandalorian season 2 or not, but regardless.
So one last time, the quote is, "Enough food, go help with the patrol."
Okay.
And we are playing Who Are You for the people that are tuning in late or skipping ahead. It is our quote guessing game for Star Wars. And this time we have introduced series quotes throughout the game.
I have a name. I'm ready to go.
You ready, John?
All right.
I'm not
Yeah, I
positive that it's the
guess.
right answer, but it does make sense logically.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3.
Fennec Shand.
Fennec Shand?
It is Boba Fett.
Damn it!
Dang.
So
At least
if you
we
guys
both...
remember, it is that episode. You guys are correct on the episode that you're thinking. It's when they're enjoying the food after he gets attacked by Black K, and they're
Yeah.
sitting there with the food on the patrol, and he turns to the droid and he says, "Enough food, go help with the patrol." The droid rolls away, and then Fennec Shand says, "You should enjoy the trappings." That is the episode. So
I
we are
thought it was
currently-
Fennec talking to like the Gamorrean guards or something.
And that's what I was thinking when I picked that quote, was they were going to be stuck between the two. Aha. All right, so we're still at 2-2 here. We're now on to the third quote, which is, "Since when do you know how to fly?" The quote is, "Since when do you know how to fly?" And the question is, who said it? We are currently still playing.
Yep.
I don't think I've watched a Star Wars movie fully through lately. I've been kind of rewatching the series a little bit. I watch a lot of clips here and there, but I don't watch full. I haven't watched a full movie lately. I definitely need to go watch one, I think. I think I need to watch Force Awakens. It's been a while since I've watched that. Which is like, it was my go-to for the people at home that didn't know. It was my go-to for years and years. Like anytime I did
James, do you
something
have
like
one
that.
down?
Yeah. Although I
Are
think
you guys ready?
Yeah.
I have a guess. I don't know. I'm not feeling good about it, but
All right, and we're going to reveal one last time. The quote is, "Since when do you know how to fly?" 1, 2, 3.
Pelimato.
C-3PO.
It's Han Solo in Solo, a Star Wars story, when he's flying during the Kessel Run, and he says something to Kira along the lines of, "Hey, we need to do this." And she goes, "Yes, we definitely do." And Chewie leans over and starts flicking all the buttons. And he goes, "When did you know how to fly?" And he goes, "Oh," and he goes, 190 years old. You look great.
Huh. Man, I thought I had it too, because I thought it was Pelimato reaching in to grab Grogu out of the ship.
Oh, that is a good answer. Since when do you know how to fly? I can even
Yeah.
hear her saying it. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Man,
I thought it was
I had it.
C-3PO like giving a snide comment to R2 about
Both
like
make
controlling
sense.
a ship.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Next, we're on number 4. Score still at 2-2.
It's a great showing.
Hey, these have been good quotes.
Too good.
Too good. All right, maybe I'll get this next one. The quote is, "Light it up." The quote is, "Light it up."
Are these quotes? Like
I got it.
I picked moments that are like moments in the movies. I knew you were going to question it. I picked moments that are like specific moments. And I thought you would have gotten the last one, John. I was like, he's definitely going to get this. I thought it was way too, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I was like, oh, he's going to get this one. All right, so we are still playing Who Are You? We're at quote number 4. I wonder how the people at home are playing so far. The quotes we've had are, "What she didn't come back," from Luke. We had "Enough food, go help with the patrol," from Boba Fett. We had "Since when do you know how to fly?" from Han Solo. And currently our latest quote is "Light it up." James, do you have a name?
I do. I'm doing a little bit of second guessing that like that might be that character, or they might have said something similar, but it's so broad of a phrase. It feels like it could be from a lot of different things.
Correct.
Yeah, I have a guess, but whatever.
All right, are you guys ready?
Sure.
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
Poe Dameron.
Poe Dameron.
It's Cassian Andor from Rogue One. James!
Ah,
The
We're
funniest
out of
thing, guys,
touch.
is I picked the last quote being like, oh, John's definitely going to get this. Then I get this one being like, oh, James definitely gonna get this. This is a big Cassian moment where he's like,
Have we both
Melshi.
missed twice with the same wrong answers? I think we have.
Yeah. No, yeah. Not on the last one, but this one and 2 before it.
all right, so we're on to quote number 5. The game is
Wait,
still 2-2.
when does he say that?
He says it when they're on Scarif, and he's talking to Melshi, who's lining all the people up, and they're about to blow up all the bases.
Yeah,
and
as soon as I said it, I realized where it
K2SO
was.
goes, oh, we have an 88% chance of getting there, or, you know,
I was
or
thinking
88
of,
stormtroopers. There's a 30% chance we're gonna die on the way there, and he goes, okay, well, light it up.
Yeah,
and they blow everything.
she gives him the nod, like, let's do it.
Yeah,
I was thinking of the Dark Knight Rises when he does the Batman and he gives Gordon the flare and he's like, light it up.
You got to get off Batman back into Star Wars. Maybe you'd be scoring some points right now.
Oh,
Where did you think Poe
please.
Dameron said it, John?
Force Awakens when they attack the oscillator.
Oh, mine was BB-8 hit, like, punching, like, getting the thing in. I thought he said light it up, and then it was like he took off.
Yeah.
Does he say it in the oscillator? I don't think he does. He might.
Oh, obviously it was a wrong guess, but you know,
I don't know. Maybe it might be you assume too much scenario where it is.
could be.
Anyway, okay, here's the 5th quote
I hope not, because then you
for
get...
Who Are You?
Wait, I thought that was the 5th quote. Was that not?
That was
No,
the 4th.
this is the 5th. That was the 4th.
Oh, okay.
So the score is still 2-2. Anybody's game. The quote is, I like firsts. Good or bad, they're always memorable. Mr. Hoey, you cannot say that this is not a good quote. It is a very specific quote. I will repeat it again. I like firsts. Good or bad, they're always memorable. Who said it? That is the game we're playing. Currently, score is 2-2. And this is the 5th out of 9 quotes from Star Wars characters. James still has his hint left, if he'd like to take it. John does not have his hint. He used it earlier. So
We're at 5?
We're at 5.
All right, I'll take it.
All right, James is taking his hint.
I'll take it too.
You can't. You can't. All right, so I am
What's the
texting.
quote again?
The quote is, I like firsts. Good or bad, they're always memorable. All right, so I am texting James what the hint is for where this quote came from. He has received the hint.
Well, that definitely helped because the person I was thinking is not there. I'm trying not to give
That
a
is
hint
very
about what it was.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, so just to recap, we're on the 5th quote of our 9 quote Who Are You game, a fan favorite here in the TRB base. Luckily, I'm not playing today. I am asking the quotes. And James and John are still tied at 2-2. So this is a good game. It could go anywhere at this point. And one more time, right, guys? Just one more time?
Yeah.
Okay, one more time. The quote is, I like firsts. Good or bad, they're always memorable. And it is a quote from Star Wars. The question is...
All right,
who said
whatever.
it?
Well, I gotta guess, but
Okay, you guys ready?
no. It's
James
It's
had
funny,
used his hint.
yeah, I'm trying to think of the it's oddly enough I can't think of the character's name, the Star Wars character's name. I can think of the actor. I know that's a weird thing to say.
oh, I may
Will
have to change
Forte?
mine.
It might be Will Forte. It might be Will Arnett. I can't remember.
It's so true. It could be either or of those. All right, so write down a name, guys. We're on number 5. One more time for the people at home. I like firsts. Good or bad, they're always memorable. I wonder
All right.
how the people at home are.
I changed my
doing.
guess, and I might not even be close, but
I'm gonna be
Lacey,
I'm
as
gonna be
in
mad if it's
myself.
the person I'm thinking of, and I don't know why I'm completely blanking on the character name.
I am famous
right.
for writing down the right answer and crossing it out and putting the wrong one. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Grief Karga.
Grief Karga.
It is Ahsoka Tano. She is talking to Grogu and to the Mandalorian specifically, where he goes, they're talking about how stubborn Grogu is with the rock, and he goes, well, I've never done this before. This is the first time. And she goes, well, I like firsts, good or bad. They're always memorable. So that is
Not
Ahsoka
memorable enough, apparently.
Yeah.
I had to throw an Ahsoka Tano quote in there after all the flack I got last time. I had to. All right, so we're still
What a
at
fun
2-2
round
here.
we're having here today. I hope the audience is having more fun than we are.
Well,
I think these are good quotes.
I'm having a great time because I chose to have lunch, a bigger lunch, and then skip dinner. And I was sitting here feeling kind of dizzy. And I'm like, man, I shouldn't have done that, but I'm going to push through it. And then I just realized it's the Sharpie.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
James
sitting
is high
here-
right now?
why are you
Yeah,
writing
I'm
with
like
a
sit-
Sharpie?
What? Because you can see it like bold in the thing. It's just like, oh, whatever, it's a Sharpie, you know? But I'm sitting here and I'm like feeling kind of like lightheaded or dizzy. And I'm like, I think it's
'cause you
because I
have the
didn't eat
Sharpie
dinner.
right-
But it's like, yeah, it's because I'm using this and it's fuming me in this small room. All right.
All right.
Here we go.
We are up to
Now I have an excuse to lose.
Numero 6 in Who Are You? Our Star Wars quote guessing game. Score is
We've
still
been on
2-2.
6 for 3 questions.
I
now.
know.
2-2.
One of us should get it. We keep guessing the same person.
You do. All right. The next quote is, my only conclusion can be is that it was a Sith Lord. I'll repeat that. It was a little wordy. My only conclusion can be is that it was a Sith Lord. Who said it? We are on quote number 6 of 9. It is 2-2 between James and John. They've both used their hints. They have no more hints to use, unfortunately.
We need them.
Say it again.
My only conclusion can be is that it was a Sith Lord.
All right. I got it.
I think so too. We're going to say the same person. It's going to be wrong.
All right,
Probably.
guys. We are on question number 6 of Who Are You? Ready? And 1, 2, 3.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
That is correct. Well done. It is Qui-Gon talking to the Jedi Order
Gosh.
in The Phantom Menace. He says, my only conclusion is that it could be that it was a Sith Lord.
And
All right.
then, is it Mace or someone that says, like, that doesn't make any sense. The Sith
Yeah.
have been abolished for
Yeah.
centuries or whatever.
It's funny because I was watching the scene to make sure I got the quote right with subtitles, and I couldn't help but be like, man, we just talked about how he died. All right. The next quote, numero 7 of 9. The score is
Thought we were
still
on 6.
4-4. No, this is 7 now. 2, 3, 4,
Yep, she's
5.
right. This is the 7th.
The quote is, we need good people to step up, or spice is bound to come through these parts. Who said it? I'm going to repeat it again. We need good people to step up, or spice is bound to come through these parts. Who said it? This is a little
with
bit
my
easier
gut
because it
on
can
this one.
only be... It has to be something according to the quote. Hopefully you guys get it. So for the
I got
people checking in,
Say it
we're
again.
at 4-4. 7th quote. Quote is, we need good people to step up, or spice is bound to come through these parts.
Man, I'm between two now.
Bound to come through these parts.
All right.
That's my terrible accent. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3.
Cobb Vanth.
Cobb Vanth.
Said by Mando to Cobb Vanth.
Oh.
He said, we need good people to step up, or spice is bound to come through these parts. And
Not
Lacey
even the person that I was between Cobb Vanth and Boba Fett explaining his side of
It was when Mando went to talk to Cobb
Yeah.
Vanth.
Yeah,
before
I get
Cad
it
Bane
now.
showed
You
up.
say
Yeah.
it, and it makes perfect sense. But,
Yeah. All right, we might go into sudden death. I'm kind of pumped right now. We've never done that before.
I like that behind the scenes. I said, make sure you have extras, and John was like, we won't need them.
Well, that's part of the game. That's how you promote fights.
All right, here is question quote number 8. It is there anything I might do to help? Is there anything I might do to help? Who said it? So the score is 4-4. We are on quote number 8 of 9. This has been a tight game so far. Both gentlemen have used their hints. We've had a collection of movie and series quotes. Is there anything I might do to help?
I'm torn between two people.
So we've introduced this time, guys, listeners, we've introduced series and movies into this game, which opens up a whole bunch of new quotes, which is really great. So far, we've seen a Boba Fett quote, an Amanda quote, and an Ahsoka Tano quote. Question is, what other quotes does Lacey, aka me,
I
have?
think I got it.
All right. One last time. Is there anything I might do to help? Who said it in Star Wars? Ready?
Yeah.
1,
Yep.
2, 3.
C-3PO.
C-3PO.
That is correct. C-3PO.
Oh, man.
So we're at 6-6. That was C-3PO from A New Hope when Luke is complaining. And he goes, is there anything I might do to help?
You could shut down for a while.
Speed up the harvest. Change time or teleport me off the clock.
I loved this quote because it could have been anybody, but at the same time, if you know C-3PO, the might is a kind of like a little note.
He
that
was
you're
like my third person, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had someone else written down initially and then changed it when I heard the quote.
I was all over. I was like Cobb Vanth. I thought Anakin Skywalker at one point. Like I was kind of all over. And then
let's
I
both
was
just
C-3PO.
write. Let's both just write Cobb Vanth down for the next one before
Yeah,
hearing
we're
it.
down to get it.
All right.
If we could throw away rounds, I'd be like Will Forte.
We
Lacey's
are
like,
on
give me
quote.
2 glasses of spotchka.
Yeah.
We are on quote number 9 of the game. This is the final question.
So this could be it.
This could be it. We're at 6-6. Last quote. And the quote is, you might want to rethink your technique. You might want to rethink your technique. Who said it in Star Wars? This is the tiebreaker last question of the game. No hints left. James is thinking a little bit more. John, very confident, dropping his dry erase marker. He's so confident. It's going to be hilarious if he's wrong. He's doing all this celebratory mic drop stuff. But it is a tied game. The quote is, you might want to rethink your technique. Who said it in Star Wars? It's been a tough game so far. 6-6. It's coming down to this. This is the free throw from the half court. Buzzers almost had 1.
I think James is just playing coy here. I think he already has something written down.
Is he?
Yeah.
I hope so. I want to see you guys go to sudden death, so I have 3 more quotes after this.
I'm sure everyone does. Yeah.
So
just the more, yeah, it's.
This is Who Are You, our quote guessing game. We're at 9 out of 9. And please let us know in the comments. Yeah. 6-6 is the score, 2 points per quote. Both boys have used their hints. They both have failed on said hints. Yep. However, it's a fun game so far.
I think we both missed 3 or 4 questions with the same wrong answer.
Yes.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I was not being coy, but now I got it.
Okay. All right.
All right. And so
Pretty
one last
sure.
time for the people playing along, the quote is, "You might want to rethink your technique." Who said
Yeah,
it?
I think I got it. Ready?
And reveal in 1, 2, 3.
Jyn Erso.
Poe Dameron.
It is Poe Dameron in The
Is it
Force
really?
Awakens talking to Kylo Ren. You might want to rethink your technique. Oh my God.
Really?
James was so confident.
All right.
If this ends up to be a double quote, which happens sometimes, James, I'm going to give it to you because it sounds like a Jyn Erso
Poe
quote. now
Dameron
you're
says
saying
it when he's being interrogated by Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear it now.
You might want to rethink your technique.
Oh.
My favorite thing about
man.
that scene, by the way, which I was thinking as I was watching the scene, is that behind the scenes they said that Adam was in the mask and he went up and he was like, Hey Oscar, it's me, Adam.
Lacey, you didn't say who officially won.
I did. I said you won. I said that when you were celebrating. I said, wow, John did it. Congrats.
Yeah, for some reason, once I heard it in the right light, I was like, oh, it's definitely this. And the scene I was picturing was Jyn talking to Mon Mothma and them being like, we broke you out, we dragged you in here, we need information. And she's saying,
yeah.
you might want to rethink your technique. But
Yeah.
apparently, I guess she didn't say that there.
I see what you're
So-
saying too. Like it sounds like something she would say at that scene. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. That makes sense.
Man.
All right,
All
so
right, John.
John
Good
wins
match.
by 1 quote, 8-6.
I mean, it went down to
Poe
the
Dameron.
wire. That's what you want.
Do you guys want to
Right.
just play for fun the last 3?
Yeah.
Okay, last
Sure.
3 just for funsies at home. Let us know in the comments or on Twitter or Instagram. Let us know what you got out of the 9 plus any bonus points you get. We'll do 1 bonus point each for these next ones because they're just bonus. Let us know how you did, but don't give out the answers in the comments. Just say what numbers, like, out of what you got right. And how I did so far, because I think this was my best round yet. All right, so the next quote was, "The remaining Jedi will be hunted down and defeated." The remaining Jedi will be hunted down and defeated. Who said it?
Just, we're not on any sort of like reveal.
No. Yeah, just
John, do you think you know who it is? I mean, I'll just be
Um,
honest if it's not that person.
go ahead. Say who you think it is.
I think it's Palpatine.
I was
It
going to
is
say
In
Palpatine.
Revenge of the Sith. And Revenge of the Sith. I don't know what. Somebody said something right at the right moment where it hit me, and I was like trying to say that word instead.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, I was
Palpatine,
leaning
correct.
towards him. Yeah.
Next is, how do you guys let me beat you on that one? How did you guys let me beat you on that one? Who said it in Star Wars?
How did you guys let me beat me?
Beat you on that one.
Yeah.
Is it Han Solo and Solo playing Sabacc?
It is not. It is Lando playing Sabacc. in Solo.
Oh.
He says it at the very beginning when Han
Yeah,
walks in.
yeah.
He's talking to the other creatures at the table.
Okay.
And last quote is, "Did we lose them?"
Every Star Wars movie ever.
Yeah.
I don't think so. This was a very specific scene, but
Is it Finn Rise of Skywalker?
good guess. It was Poe Dameron, Rise of Skywalker. He asks Finn
man,
on
a
the
lot of
speeder,
Poe.
"Did we lose them?"
Well,
And
okay, here's the truth. I thought it was Poe, but because we'd done so many Poe questions before, I switched it to Finn.
You know what
Because we
that
didn't
means?
do any Finn quote.
James?
What?
That means you don't know Dameron.
so stupid. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this segment. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did writing the quotes or coming up with the quotes. And these guys, I know they give each other a hard time, but they have fun doing it. Although John's doing this stupid belt thing. I hate that he does this. I think he seems to forget that he lost last time. So he's like doing this whole charade thing right now. Like,
I'd like to take this
marker.
opportunity to apologize.
Oh, great. Really?
To
What do you-
absolutely nobody. The champ does what the hell he wants.
But anyway, we hope you enjoyed
So
Who
dumb.
Are You, our quote guessing game where we guess Star Wars quotes. I know you guys like it at home. Let us know how you did in the comments. Tweet at us on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you kind of connect with us. Let us know how you did in the comments. No spoilers though, guys. Just let us know how you did out of the 9 and how many bonus points you got.
What if we do Who Are You at Celebration, but like that Nickelodeon game with Mark Summers, you get it wrong, you get a pie in the face.
No, I'm not doing that. It takes forever to do makeup and hair. I'm not putting pie in my face.
What if we pie, like we host it, and we have people come play for prizes, and if they get it wrong, we pie them in the face.
There's no way that Star Wars Celebration is going to be like, yes, please get pie everywhere, so we have to clean it up.
We don't have to do it on the show floor. We do it wherever we want. We do it on the streets. Take it to the streets.
You're going to take... I love how you're like, we're going to the streets, and what are we doing? We're pieing people. It's not like a dance-off or like a fight or... Anyway. All right, so now we're going to head into our next segment. Want to take it from here, Lacey? Thanks, Lacey. Appreciate it. Well done with Who Are You? You killed it. This is Resistance Transmissions. All right, so this is part of the show where John puts up a crazy, wacky situation on Twitter, and you guys give your answers, and we discuss them here on the show. So, the scenario is, what is the worst or most ridiculous way Obi-Wan Kenobi could get the name Ben?
Actually, this was James's idea.
This was James's idea. James, this was a good one. First up, we have Bruce Wright at Hey Bruce Wright. What up, Bruce? We love Bruce.
What's up, man?
He's great. Posts a lot of great stuff. Bruce said, named himself after Leia's kid. A little backwards.
World between worlds, right?
Yeah.
Next is Joey Sack at Joey
Hey,
Sack.
Bruce.
What up, Joey? He said, one time on Mandalore, Obi-Wan took a long time coming back from a mission. When he finally got back, Satine asked him, where have you been, Kenobi? And he misheard been as Ben. And he kept that in mind for future reference. Hashtag resistance transmissions. That is
Obi-Wan was
clever.
in the doghouse.
Very clever. Next, we have
one, Joey.
Haas at Haas_Aslam. What up, Haas? He said, he once caused chaos when his speeder stalled in heavy traffic and angry locals dubbed him Ben after local hapless hero Ben Quadraneros.
Poor Quadraneros.
Aww. Next is Christian Morales at Chris_Morales_1. What up, Christian? He said, right before Obi-Wan crosses paths with Vader, Qui-Gon appears on a ridge and yells, Ben! Ben! Next is Micah Harrison at Micah Ex Machina. Hey, Micah, congrats on your new job, Mr. Executive Chef. Well done. Micah said, as Kenobi is waiting to board a star cruiser to get off world, the Imperial officer asks him his name, who his people are. He responds, I've been Kenobi for as long as I can remember. Officer, Ben Kenobi. I hate this so much, Micah. I hate it so much. We literally, oh God, I can't. I'm going to move on. I can't dwell on it. Mark at @kind_awakens. _kind_awakens. What up, Mark? He said, Obi-Wan disguised as a stormtrooper meets Kes Dameron. Kes, hey, what's your name? Obi-Wan. BN21. No. 2187. Kes, BN what? Obi-Wan. That's the only name they ever gave me. Oh my God. Kes, well, I ain't using it. BN, huh? Ben. I'm going to call you Ben. Is that all right? Obi-Wan. Ben. Yeah. Ben. I like that.
So
That was perfectly acted. You're welcome.
This is weird. I don't know resistant transmissions. I'm like Lacey. I don't follow these until we do them on the show. And I thought of something very similar to this morning. I was thinking about it as I was driving my son to school. I was like, Finn introduces himself as FN, and Poe hears it and goes, I'm going to call you this, Finn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we know anything about license plates, he could have done anything. He could have said Fan, Fen, fun, fawn. Like, and it would have made sense. FN, fawn, right? And I was like, technically he could have even done like fine or something.
Fan.
Yeah. And where was it? I'm off the cuff now, but I had like a little meme like I drew in my head. It was something along the lines of like, fine, I'm going to call you that. Is that cool? And he's like, that's fine. Kind of something along those lines.
And last but not least is Brian Pothier at B Pothier. What up, Brian? Does great designs. Check him out online. Great art, really funny memes. Brian said, hold up in Tatooine with limited resources and just a hot plate. Obi-Wan gets his sustenance from ramen noodles and Uncle Ben's rice. Old Ramen Kenobi didn't roll off the tongue with the locals.
That's great.
Well done, Brian.
Ramen
Guys,
Kenobi.
thank you so much for answering Resistance Transmissions. It's an absolute joy to read this segment. And we hope you enjoyed. Who are you? Back to you, John.
And we ended it at 11:38 for all you nerds out there. Nice.
Ooh.
All right, so I want to do a quick thank you to our top tier supporters on Patreon, our generals and spice runners. We really can't thank you enough for what you do for us and allow us to do. And hopefully you enjoy what we've been doing and what we are planning to do in the future. And that includes Star Wars Celebration. So a big thank you to our generals, Carmelo, Jeremy Myers, John Reese, Jetta Rosewater, Paul Olson, Oliver Lewis, Frank Grande, Darth Hurricane, John Charlton, Nick Kratz, Christian Morales, Brian Smith, Matt Chitty, Danny, Mike Ramori, Matt Heath, Double C Chris White, Brendan McLaughlin, and Val Trichkoff. Thank you, generals. And Spice Runners, David Probus, Neil Shaw, Kendall Gellner, Ryan WAARA, Dave HORNAK, MICAH Harrison, Thomas Hennessy, and Andrew Staley. Thank you all so much. And if you didn't check Monday's episode, Andrew did a great pod race, so good job there. All of our pod racers do such a great job every week. But thank you all for all of your support and all of our patrons. Like James said at the top, patreon.com/resistance broadcast. Even if you just say like, I don't care about I don't have time, I don't to what the extra stuff. If you just want to support us, $2 a month, it goes a long way. But of course, you get access immediately at the very first tier to all of our bonus videos and commentaries and all that stuff. So definitely go check us out there, patreon.com/resistance broadcast. You may not think that your contribution will help us. It absolutely does. So please consider supporting us if you can. Thank you very much. Make sure you go to StarWarsNewsNet.com every day for all of your Star Wars news, reviews, editorials, information, and more. You can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and writing and editing over at StarWarsNewsNet.com and my movie podcast, Just Like the Movies, available free on your favorite podcast app. Just did The Godfather on Tuesday. Lacey.
People can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lacey Gilleran. And I finally got my Rey lightsaber, and it's amazing.
Nice. James.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, both at Myra Trunks.
And we will be back on Monday with another episode right here on the Resistance broadcast. So until then, enjoy your weekends, and we'll see you around, kids.